couple of tough losses down at Notre Dame over the weekend. But when you go on the road like that to play a ranked team, a much bigger school, and especially in that kind of environment like it was on Friday night, what is the value of that kind of experience for a team early on in the season?
Yeah, well, I thought both games were winnable. You don't always say that leaving an environment like that against a championship level team. We were a little starstruck Friday night. I thought we were kind of stuck in the mud for the first 10 minutes. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Kind of from that point on, I thought on Friday we had a lot of really good looks. Shots ended up like 40 to 20 something for us. The goalie played well. And then Saturday, you take the lead, you tie it up late. You have some really good looks towards the end of the game. So it's like that's the part that's disappointing, is that I thought they were both winnable. But what that the goal of that is you're trying to prepare yourself for moments like that later in the year. If you have a chance to be in that spot later in the year, that means that you've earned that opportunity. So this was just an opportunity that was given to us on our schedule. I do think there are some environments that are going to be like that, though. You're going to have the rivalry weekend with Tech's going to be like that. At Mankato is going to be like that. And those are areas that we've struggled in lately. And for us, like, we got to learn from what that environment was and be able to, remember that all those people there in the band and the crowd, and they're outside the glass. It's just the 21 guys on our bench versus the 21 guys on their bench. And hopefully in those scenarios again, we will be able to just fall back on our training and play.
Talk about some of those big games. The last couple of years, from an outsider's perspective, some of your best games have been against what the rankings would say are the best opponents that you guys have played, being last year, whether it be like a team like Duluth, or you talk about Tech, Mankato. What do you attribute that to, and coming out and having some of your better performances against that competition?
All those have been at home. All our quality wins have been at home. And I think we've played very well at home. We got to get some of those on the road. We got to be able to minimize our mistakes. Saturday we gave them 4 breakaways. 2 of them they scored on, and 2 of them we took penalties on. So, it's areas that we just have to limit, because people are going to get opportunities. Like they are, that people have good players. We have to limit the opportunities that we're giving to people.
So, Coach, like we talked about going into the weekend, special teams are always really important. Gave up a shorthanded goal on the weekend. Couldn't convert on a major on Friday to get back into the game either. Was it just kind of a rough weekend for the penalty kill and for the power play, do you think, or did Notre Dame kind of raise some alarms at the early point in the season?
Well, part of it, I think, is some of our guys that play on those teams, I think, were a little bit off this weekend, especially offensively. Defensively, the 2 of the penalty kill goals we gave up, we had pucks on our stick and just didn't get them cleared. That was kind of the story of the weekend. They got 2 power play goals, essentially 3, because one of them kind of happened right after the power play. We gave a shorty up, and we went 0 for on the power play. That's you can't go on the road and not win the special. It's the old line. You go on the road, you pack your team defense, you better pack your goalie, and you better pack your special teams, and don't beat yourself. Like, that's it. It's been that way forever. I don't think that our special teams were where they needed to be. I think we gave them too many opportunities. gave them too many. And, you know, it's hard to, I do think the players fought to the end on Sunday, all the way to the end. But, you know, just it's hard when you're always chasing the game.
So speaking of more opportunities, we got to see more Benny this weekend, a little bit of Charlie on Sunday as well. Where do you feel the Cats are at between the pipes through the first 3 weeks?
I do think Benny's played well. You know, the eye test tells you that, the numbers tell you that. So, you know, going forward, you're probably going to see a little bit more of Benny.
So then this weekend, old WCHA foe coming to town, Alaska Anchorage. Your thoughts on those matchups for the Cats this weekend?
Yeah, there'll be a couple guys in their team, you know, Connor Merritt and Nolan Kent, who got a little more extra fire, you know, coming back here. These are, you know, for them, these are big games. You know, they don't have all Division I teams on their schedule. They have, you know, so they play some Division III teams, some club teams. You know, it's hard to kind of fill their schedule out. So these are going to be big games for them. The reality of this is that I'll use Lindenwood. They weren't even a program last year. They didn't even have a team. And they were able to go into Minnesota the first night, their first college game ever, and not get blown out. In game 2, they almost beat the Gophers. The next game, they scored 4 goals on Michigan. So if anybody thinks any of these games are anything other than dogfights, you're going to be in trouble. You know, it's just, there are so many good hockey players that are not even playing Division I. You know, there's a lot of good players that are going to be coming in here this weekend, and, you know, if we take this for granted, you know, we're going to have a chance to be in trouble. You know, but kind of where, to be honest, where I'm at is there's some things that I haven't necessarily liked about our team, even when we were winning, you know, and this weekend I think, you know, playing it, and I call them a championship level team because they're going to have a chance to win a championship. Those things get exposed. And, you know, especially early in the year, we need to get our conditioning right again. I don't think we have enough snarl in our game. I don't think we're playing fast enough. So, you know, over the next little bit, it's got to be about us getting our team to where we need to be. Now, special teams and things like that, you do have to prepare for. But we got to get ourselves going the right way before we start worrying about who the opponent is. Because we all kind of play the same. Everybody kind of plays the same. So we got to be a better version of ourselves.